So Guilty Gear Xtra sits in this weird kind of space of being a weird existence and something that's not that surprising. Because Guilty Gear Xtra is a manga, and the only Guilty Gear manga, as far as I'm aware of, that takes place in between the first Guilty Gear and Guilty Gear X. And the thing about it is, it doesn't really star the main characters that we suspect of. Like, you figured, oh, it's a manga about Guilty Gear, it should star Soul, or Kai, or someone like that. But no. The manga actually stars two new original characters named Tyr and Mizuha, and the whole plot is basically revolved around, oh, there's gear parts falling from the sky, and they're trying to figure out why it's happening. Now, unfortunately, the manga is incredibly short. And even more unfortunately is that only 8 chapters out of the 10 chapters have been translated in English, which means I can't find the other 2 chapters, which most likely resolves the story, and it kind of sucks. But luckily, by the power of the wiki, I'm able to figure this out. Sadly enough, it doesn't really, end off on anything good. It just kind of ends the story, and the characters that we come to know and love don't really show up all that much in the story. Now, Baiken pops up to actually have more presence in the story, even though she only pops up for about 2 chapters. Kai and Soul have a battle that starts off in 1 chapter and leads into the other. Other characters just kind of appear, randomly. Like Tyr and Mizuha kind of just hop around the Guilty Gear world and just meet characters as they just appear, like Anji or Axel or Soul and Kai. And some characters just end up on like panel cameos, like Bridget or Dizzy or Johnny or Ino or May, or there's like even characters appear in photos like that, man. Like some characters just don't appear. Though we do see a little bit of backstory about the Holy War, the Crusades and whatnot, because Tyr is actually was a former comrade of Kai back in the Crusades, and funny enough, the dude hasn't aged a bit because he is part Gear. Tyr is a interesting kind of character, though he's not really anything noteworthy. He's mostly just your shonen protagonist in Guilty Gear, which, funny enough, we don't really get that in Guilty Gear. We don't get really a shonen protagonist in this series, which is funny to me. And counting Soul doesn't really count to me. But Tyr kind of fits that spot. He's part Gear. He has a cool dragon arm gear thing. And that's about it. He's their standard average main character. There's nothing really noteworthy. His gear powers do look kind of cool, and I wish they could, things could have been more elaborate to why he's a gear in the first place. You don't really get much of that. Explain why. But yeah, he's a gear. That's cool. There's more about him really that should have been explained. Because since the manga is so short, I really can't really explain much about the characters. And they even got characters like Mizuha, Mizuha might as well just be Dizzy too. She even looks the same, somewhat like Dizzy. And funny enough, she's one of the few living Japanese living in the colonies, and she doesn't know anything about the outside world, just like the other Japanese people do. Yeah, Mizuha has not much to talk about her too. She's able to use ki. Oh, that's kind of cool. She's able to use this. She's able to transmit ki through songs called the Kotodama, and she can also amplify magic of others, manipulate magic. She's able to she's also able to use her magic through gears, and she's also able to go inside the minds of others. It seems like she has a lot more than your standard Japanese character of Guilty Gear. So I don't know what her deal was. She has a lot of things. If anything, she could probably pass for a gear, but her ki just lets her do things. Like, whatever the situation requires her to use, her ki, it just lets her just do things. And I feel like, she's not that much interesting of a character either, and I feel like just her coming up with powers out of nowhere just to solve a situation. It's like, oh no, Tyr's going through some kind of, a possession phase. I better use my ki to go inside of him. Oh no, something bad's happening. Like, oh no, I need to amplify his powers to create some giant blast. I can do that now too. Like, I feel like it's because it's so short that the Guilty Gear X is so short that she's able to come up with powers out of nowhere. And the characters that we do meet don't really get to do much. Anji. He does help out, help out Mizuha try to take down Tyr, or at least stop him. Soul shows up. Funny enough, Gabriel, they never actually heard to say his name. I can't remember. Gabriel, you know that dude, that pointy nose dude, you know, Zep. He helps out a little bit. You actually, well, you don't really see him help out. He just showed up in like a couple of panels or so, but he's actually there. Which, funny enough, I thought he only appeared in Guilty Gear Xrd, but no, he's actually appeared before that. I couldn't remember, actually, we actually saw him in person before, but I feel like we did. I cannot remember, because I know he appeared in another game, but as for memory serving me, I can't remember if I saw him like I can't remember if I saw him in XX or Guilty Gear X. I can't remember, but this is like the first time I actually saw him like in an older game, and it's kind of cool to see him there. Funny enough, I'm surprised Gabriel hasn't became like a playable character. He seems really cool. I do like his design, and he seems like a pretty nice guy, so I'm surprised he's not playable. But yeah, we don't really see much of the characters that we know. There are new original characters, like there's a character named Gina, and she's essentially the main villain. She's evil. Yeah, and I feel like the only point, like she really just shows up to be a bad guy. It's just not really much for her. She shows up, she gets her arm lopped off by Tyr and had to get a prosthetic one, and yeah, that's it. We don't even like, there's like no backstory to her either. She kind of, you know, fuses with a machine and fights. Honestly, she's like Ino. She's like Ino, but, you know, without all the best parts of Ino. She's pretty much like that. And considering the fact that this took place in between Guilty Gear and Guilty Gear X, and Ino was kind of like, you know, the so far the main villain we knew of, it kind of like, it just feel like these characters are starting being like kind of like rehashes. Now for the Guilty Gear Xtra manga, I kind of wish that like they kind of, you know, did more with the characters, like did more of the characters we know of, because, you know, Tyr and Mizuha are kind of like the main focus here. And they're not really that interesting of characters. I can't really say much about Mizuha, because, you know, Mizuha's, you know, big thing was supposed to, you know, show her more of the outside world. And, you know, we don't get to really do much because the manga is so short. And Tyr is okay. Like, he's okay. He's not really anything noteworthy. Like, I feel like the sad thing about these characters is, despite them being, like, really powerful and wacky, they don't really fit with the Guilty Gear characters. Like, they're nothing like special, you know. The designs aren't that too far-fetched. They don't, you know, they have no music, so I can't really say that as a manga. But they don't really fit with the characters, you know. Like, even design-wise, they don't really fit with the rest of the Guilty Gear characters. They feel like just outsiders, which I guess that makes sense. This is a Guilty Gear manga that wasn't written by Isuka, though he was in charge of it, so, you know, he helped out. He did write the little story for us. I guess I can't say much about it, but yeah, that's Guilty Gear Xtra. It's okay. I'm sad I couldn't read the other chapters, but I was able to just, like, you know, read them on the wiki, because that's the only other way I was able to find them, and, you know, it's okay. The manga is not bad, but if it was just a little bit longer and had, you know, more to do with the other characters, you know, things would have been alright, and if it just, you know, did more with, like, Tyr and Mizuha, you know, the manga could have been a lot better. But as it stands now, it's an old manga. It came out like in 2003, so it's an old manga. It's not really anything to write home about, and it's not really. It's a quick read. That's all I can say. It's a quick read if you want to see Guilty Gear in manga form. So the character designs do look good. Like, hey, Soul's hair is like a lot longer now. He looks cool in this manga. Biken's here. You know, all the characters look all right, so I can say that the art at least looks okay. It's definitely a product of its time. But yeah, that's Guilty Gear Xtra in a nutshell. It's okay. It's a quick read. Give it a chance when you read when you want to, because I wasn't expecting it. Like, I'm the only person that ever covered Guilty Gear Xtra. It's crazy.